Men's gymnastics. This sport requires incredible amounts of strength, flexibility, and balance. And athletes must be perfect. Sometimes, a competition can come down to the last tenth. But have you ever wondered how the judges determine these scores? Today, I'm going to go over the basics of how a men's gymnastics routine is scored. Keep in mind, every event is different and has its own special rules, so I'll go into more depth on each individual event in future videos. I'm going to talk about a lot of rules in a short video, so feel free to pause at any point to review them. First, you might notice that there are two different scores, the difficulty and execution. The difficulty, or D score, is the sum of all the skills in a routine. Each skill is ranked by how difficult it is, starting with an A, which is worth 1/10 of a point. A B is worth 2/10, a C 3, etc. The current highest valued skill is an I. It's called a Miyachi, and it's insane. The 10 highest valued skills in the routine are added up. However, a skill will not receive credit if it is unrecognizable, requires a spot, is not held for the full 2 seconds, if the feet are used without permission, or if the gymnast falls during the skill. After the difficulty of all the skills is added up, the element groups are included. Every event has 4 element groups, including the dismount. Each element group is worth half a point unless the dismount does not receive full difficulty. Finally, there are bonuses, which are specific to each event. However, a common one is the connection bonus, which is extra points awarded to 2 consecutive skills that are at least a certain value. Once the values of the skills, element groups, and bonuses are all added up, you're left with the D score. Now let's look at the execution, or the E score. The E score starts at a 10, assuming the routine has over 6 skills. Any fewer skills would drop the start value significantly. Every form break, error, or any violation is deducted from this score. These deductions can be for aesthetic errors, such as knee bends or flexed feet, and are generally 1/10 for small errors, 3 for medium, and 5 for large errors. A fall results in a whole point being deducted. Additionally, each event has its own specific rules on deductions. For example, there's a 1/10 deduction for adjusting your grip on parallel bars or high bar, a 3/10 deduction on floor for not touching all 4 corners, and a 5/10 deduction for using the cables to help balance on rings. Every event has many unique rules, which is why they each deserve their own video. The gymnast can also be deducted while not on the apparatus, for stuff like not saluting the judge before competing, changing the height of the equipment without permission, or attire violations, and more. Okay, that's a lot, so let's look at an example. Here I am competing a fairly basic pommel horse routine. Let's start with my D score. The name and description of the skill is shown below, and the value of each skill is added up on top. Keep in mind, an A is worth 1/10, a B is worth 2, a C 3, and so on. Also, even though I do multiple individual circles across the horse, I only get credit for it once. The values of all my skills add up to 1.6. Since I have a scissor, a circle, a travel, and a dismount, I have all 4 element groups. But since my dismount did not have full difficulty, it only received 3/10 compared to the normal 5 that the other 3 element groups received. This totals to 1.8. And in addition to the 1.6 from my skills, the D score is 3.4. Now let's look at my E score. Since I have over 6 skills, my E score automatically starts at a 10. Every deduction is subtracted from that score. This includes things like a lack of amplitude in my scissors, and having my hips too bent during the circle. Those 2 deductions are specific to pommel horse. However, this also includes general aesthetic errors, such as having my legs apart and having my legs bent. Any deduction can only occur once per skill, but it can be repeated in other skills.
My total deductions add up to 0.9, making my E score a 9.1.
After adding up my D score and my E score, my final score is a 12.5. Keep in mind, judges must determine both of these scores at the same time without video replay. Every Olympic year, F.I.G, the International Federation of Gymnastics, will change the rules just slightly. 2020 is unique, however. Since the current plan is to postpone the Olympics until 2021, the rules are now set to change on January 1st, 2022, rather than in 2021.
As you can see, scoring men's gymnastics is extremely complicated. But once you understand the rules, the sport becomes that much more exciting to watch. I obviously didn't talk about everything in the code of points, so I'll leave it in the description so that you guys can read all 159 pages yourself. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.